my dear students, in today's video lesson, we'll be dealing with a very important topic, that is refraction through a lens. So here, today we'll be talking about refraction through convex lens. So before starting with the ray diagrams, let's start with the rules. First, we should learn the rules, that how lines are drawn, and then we'll go to ray diagrams. Okay, so here I have drawn few convex lenses. So our rule number 1, whenever the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, see, this is the principal axis and there is an incident ray which is parallel to it. Okay. There is a ray which is coming parallel to the principal axis and falling on the lens. So whenever a ray parallel to principal axis falls on the lens, then after refraction through a lens, it should pass through focus. So here is the focus. That's our first rule. Okay. Now it can come from down also. Here you can see this incident line is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it is passing through focus. This is our rule number 1, that whenever the incident ray is parallel to principal axis, after reflection it will pass through focus. Now children, whenever you draw lens, make sure that you draw a line, okay, equally spaced lenses here, and from O you will measure this distance F, and this distance should remain same. Okay, many students make a mistake of counting F from here. No, it should be from here. And while drawing ray diagrams, you can simply draw this line and write convex lens here. Instead of making this curvature, you can only draw this line and write convex. That is also acceptable by boards. But preferably you do like this. So our first rule is, incident ray is parallel, it will pass through focus. Incident ray is parallel to principal axis, it will pass through focus. Now our second rule. Our second rule is, whenever an incident ray passes through focus, after reflection it will become parallel to principal axis. So here you can see this is the focus. So if I draw an incident ray like this, okay, then after reflection it will become parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so see here, if I make a ray passing through focus, okay, after reflection it will become parallel to principal axis. That's our second rule, which is converse of this. Now our third rule, whenever the incident ray passes exactly from the optical center, passes directly here, then it will pass after reflection undeviated. It will pass as a straight line. There will be no bending of light. Okay. See here, if the incident ray exactly falls on optical center, it will pass undeviated. So, following these three rules, we will now draw ray diagrams for refraction through a convex lens when objects are placed at different distances. Now, let's go on to the ray diagrams. So, our case 1 is when the object is at infinity. Okay, the object is very far off. Now children, you should remember, whenever the object is very far off, the rays coming from the object will always be parallel rays. Okay, so in first case, we will draw two parallel rays. See, one ray is above the principal axis and one ray below the principal axis. So what does the rule 1 say? Whenever a parallel line parallel to the principal axis is there, after reflection it will pass through focus. So I made it pass through focus. Second line will take, see, it is incident parallelly to the principal axis, and after reflection it will pass through focus. So this way these two rays have met at F. Okay. Now another way to draw this. Now children, these parallel rays need not necessarily be parallel to principal axis. The parallel rays can come like this also if the object is oblique. Okay, so suppose there is a parallel ray, beam of ray coming like this, one passing through optical center straight. Okay, then I'll draw another parallel line. Okay, I'll draw another parallel line to this and make it pass through F. Then after reflection it should pass through, it should become parallel to principal axis. So here you note that in the second one, the first one and the second one will meet here. So if I join this to the principal axis, see, the image is formed at F. Okay, and here also there is a point image which is formed at F. So in both the cases, the image is formed at F. Here it is F, and we say it is at focal plane. So both the images are smaller than the object. How we can say it is smaller? Because any object which is at infinity is very, very big, because the rays are coming from it from very far off. So in compared to that, this is a point object, this is the point image, and this is a smaller image as compared to the object which is kept at infinity, right? So what is the nature of image formed in this case? The image formed is real. What do you mean by real images? Real images are those images which are formed by actual intersection of the reflecting lines. So here both the reflecting lines are actually intersecting. So it is a real image. Okay. Always see, it is an inverted image. Okay. Always it is an inverted image for convex lens. So it is real, inverted, and it is highly diminished, because it is a very small image that we are getting. So we will write highly diminished. We will not write small or diminished. We will write highly diminished in case of object at infinity. So it is real, inverted, highly diminished, and it is formed at focus. So it is at F. So while writing the nature of the image, we will write whether it is real or virtual, whether it is inverted or erect, what is the size, and where is it formed. So these four things we will have to write for all the ray diagrams for all the cases. Okay. What is the application here? So there are two applications in this case, one burning glass and camera lens. In burning glass, we burn few bits of papers. Have you done this activity before, kids? I am sure you must have done. We take the bits of paper and we converge all the rays, all the sun rays which are coming to that place where we have kept our paper. So it starts burning because there are so many rays which are getting converged here at this particular point. Similarly, we use it as a camera lens. So here it is used in camera lens to photograph an image which is at infinity. So here will be our camera lens. We will try to focus this at our photographic film. So at F we will keep the photographic film where the image will be formed. Moving on to case 2, the object is beyond 2F. So we will draw the principal axis, we will draw the lens, we will mark F, and we take the same distance as F and mark 2F here. Okay, and we keep the object beyond 2F. Now whenever you are keeping an object, please remember that its tail will come on the principal axis and head will come here. So on head you will write A, tail as B. So AB is the object. Now we have to draw its image. Now following the first rule, we will make a line parallel to the principal axis. Now always remember, whenever you are drawing an image with the help of an object, you have to start both the rays from the head. So one ray is when you are making a line parallel to the principal axis, make it fall on lens. After falling on lens, it will pass through focus. Okay. Draw the arrow on both the rays. Our second ray would be, we can make two rays. We can make one passing through optical center, or we can make one passing through F and then making it parallel to the principal axis. You have to draw only two rays, so you choose whatever you want. I will make a ray which is passing through optical center. It's not a very straight line, but you try to draw a straight line. Okay, so this is how one arrow here, and after reflection one arrow here. So you can see these two rays are meeting here. Make an arrow where they are meeting and make the tail on the principal axis. Object's tail also on principal axis, image tail also on principal axis. So name the image as A dash, B dash. Okay. What is the nature of the image? It is real because formed by meeting of real lines. It is inverted. You can see AB was erect, A dash B dash is inverted. It is diminished. When you measure this size, it is smaller than this, and it is between F and 2F. Now, what are the applications of case 2? Here, application is in camera lens when the object is not very far is to be photographed. Okay, when we want to photograph an object which is not at infinity, which is slightly close. So, this is the object, this is our camera lens, and this is where we will keep the screen. Okay, now let's move on to our case 3. Okay, our case 3 is object is at 2F. So again, we'll draw the principal axis, we'll draw the lens, we'll mark F and we'll mark 2F on both the sides. Here this one is F1 and these two will be F2. Now children, one tip I forgot to tell you in the beginning is when you want to draw this, you can keep your compass at 2F, pointer at 2F and then draw this. You can keep your compass here and then draw this because 2F is actually the center of this lens. Okay, this lens, and 2F2 is the center of this lens. So when you keep your compass here and draw this, okay, for example, your focus you are taking as 3 centimeter, 2F will be 6 centimeter. So you will draw the lens like 6 centimeter. You will stretch your compass and draw it like this, right? So moving further, we will go for our object as 2F. We will place the object at 2F. Also remember, when you place the object in your answer sheet, there are lines drawn. So don't draw in between lines. For example, if these are the lines, don't draw your object like this. Draw your object, complete 2 lines or complete 1 line or complete 3 lines so that your parallel rays are exactly straight. Right? So here we have placed our object. First rule, make a parallel line to the principal axis. After reflection, make it pass through focus. Okay, put 2 arrows. Second, make a line passing through optical center. Okay, so this arrow and this arrow. You will notice that they meet at a point which is exactly at 2F. Okay, so the image formed will be at 2F2. This is A dash and this is B dash. Right? So what is the nature of the image that is formed? It is real, it's inverted again. Now what is the size? It will be exactly the same size as that of the object. So you will write same size as that of object. And where is it formed? It is formed at 2F2 or simply 2F, anything is correct. Now, where is its application? Now, this is very important application. It is used in terrestrial telescope for erecting the inverted image formed by the objective lens. Now, children, what is a terrestrial telescope? A telescope which is used to see the objects on the ground, on the earth, not in the sky. So, when you are focusing the far off image, okay, you can do that from our first case. You are focusing image from a infinite object. So parallel beam of rays are coming and you will form an inverted image. So wherever you form an inverted image, at that place again you can keep that object, that image at 2F of another lens. So in terrestrial telescope you use 2 lenses. One is objective lens and one is eyepiece lens. So here it is used in terrestrial telescope for erecting the inverted image formed by the objective lens. तो objective lens ने एक उल्टी image बनाई है. अब उस image को आपको सीधा करके देखना है और उसी size का देखना है. तो आप ये object कहाँ रखेंगे? You will this is not the object. The object will be in front of objective lens, which it will form an inverted and small image. So that image is here. And you will keep your eyepiece lens at such a place that it is at 2F position. Okay, you will adjust this length so that ये image जो बनी थी इसने बनाई थी, ऑब्जेक्टिव लेंस ने। इस इमेज को जो कि उल्टी बनी थी उसको आप सीधा करके देखेंगे, ठीक है। जब आप टेलीस्कोप से देख रहे हैं तो आपको सीधी इमेज दिखनी चाहिए, बट जब आप फोकस कर रहे हैं पहले लेंस से तो आपको उल्टी इमेज आएगी। उस उल्टी इमेज को सीधा करके देखने के लिए आपको ये लेंस लगेगा, राइट। आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द एप्लीकेशन. Now we'll go on to case 4. So now we'll start with case 4. In this case, object is between f1 and 2f1. So I have kept the object between f1 and 2f1 and labeled it as AB. Now let's start. Our first rule, start a ray from the object, make it parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it should pass through focus. So here is our first ray. Our second ray will make it pass through optical center. So start from the tip, make a straight line and make it pass through optical center. Okay, so these two lines meet here. We'll draw an arrow here and the image tail on the principal axis and label it as A dash, B dash. Always make sure that A dash or A is at the top and at the tail it is B. So here you can see it is a real image, inverted image, enlarged or magnified image, and it is formed beyond 2f2. Children, please remember, don't write here highly magnified or highly enlarged. We use the word highly only when there are parallel lines coming in or coming out, right? So what are the applications of this? Now this is used in cinema and slide projectors. In slide projectors, you must have seen that the object is placed inverted and then you form its image, its enlarged image on the screen. Okay, so if you place the object inverted, you will get an erect image, a very a magnified erect image on the screen. So this case is used in slide projectors and cinema projectors. Now case 5 is when object is at f1. So we have placed the object at focus. Now let's draw the image. First line parallel to the principal axis. After reflection will pass through focus. So that's our first line. Second one, we'll make it pass through optical center. So this is the second line. If you can see that these two lines are parallel to each other, means they are never going to meet each other. So they are going to meet at infinity. We say that these rays meet at infinity. Therefore we say that the image is formed at infinity. So whenever it is formed at infinity, it will be highly magnified. So it's real, inverted, highly magnified and at infinity. Now where does it find its application? Now children, this finds its application in collimator of a spectrometer to obtain a parallel beam of light. This also finds application in headlight and torch, where you place your small bulb at the focus to get a parallel and long beam of light. So here's our last case, case 6, where the object is between O and F. So we have placed the object between O and F, optical center and first focus. So that's the object AB. Our first line will make it parallel to principal axis and make it pass through F. Okay. Our second line will make it pass through optical center. Now you can see here is that these two lines are not meeting each other, they are getting separated, but they are not parallel, they are getting separated. So what we will do is, we will extend these lines backward, okay, by dotted lines. You will see that it meets here, okay. So here we will draw a dotted line here, A dash, B dash. Children, this is the only case where we get a virtual image. Now what is a virtual image? virtual image is the image which is formed not by actual intersection of the reflected lines. See, these are the reflected lines, right? These are the refracted lines, but when they are made to meet there, okay, when they are extended backwards, means they appear to meet here at this point. They do not actually meet here. They are getting separated, but they appear to meet here. Okay, so this image is a virtual image. This is virtual, this is erect, because object was also erect, image is also erect. Otherwise, in all the cases we have seen that object was erect but the image was inverted. Here in this case it is erect or upright and it is magnified. Now children, where does this find its application? It finds its application in magnifying glass, which is also known as reading glass or simple microscope. See, here what we do is, we will place a microscope or a magnifying glass, and this is the object that we are reading, and we will look from here. Okay, so this image of the object that we are reading, whatever we are reading, suppose we are reading ABCD. So those ABCD actually is this size, but we see this size on the same side of the lens. So we see from here, this object, we try to see this object with the magnifying lens and we see a bigger image, right? Similarly, it is also there in small part of the watch. The small numbers are written and in that part we can see the enlarged image in this on the same side, because it is formed on the same side. In all the earlier cases we had seen object here and image on the other side. This is the only case where the object and image are on the same side of the lens. I hope you have understood formation of all the ray diagrams of convex lens. In our next lecture, we will talk about the ray diagrams in concave lens. So please subscribe us and do follow us, like us and comment on our videos. Thank you.